As dawn broke over the sprawling university campus, a distinctive type of chaos unfolded, one starkly reminiscent of a darker day in recent American memory. Columns of students, not unlike those of insurrectionists, swelled within the confines of collegiate Gothic architecture, their chants reverberating off stone walls steeped in history. This wasn't just another protest. This was an unsettling echo of January 6th, 2021, reverberating through the halls of academia. As scholars woke up to fields and forums turned battlegrounds, the question loomed large: are these campuses the new front lines of America's political and ideological warfare? Campus protests are hardly a novel spectacle in the history of American education. However, the intensity and scale of recent demonstrations signal a departure from traditional collegiate activism. These are not mere rallies advocating for campus-centric issues like tuition fees or administrative policies. Rather, they are deeply politicized events that engage with national crises and governmental actions. At the heart of this shift is a generation of students more politically engaged and digitally connected than ever before. The recent wave has seen participation not only from students but also external activists aligning local grievances with broader national and even global agendas. This infusion of external influence often escalates the scale and fervor of the protest, embedding deeper layers of complexity and challenge for campus authorities and local law enforcement. The tactics employed are also more sophisticated, including social media campaigns that can go viral, bringing unprecedented attention and additional pressure on university administrations. These digital dimensions make the protests highly visible and potent, capable of swaying public opinion and inviting national or even international scrutiny. Linking campus protests to the infamous January 6th riot is not merely sensational, it carries profound implications. This comparison conjures up images of violence, insurrection, and a breakdown of lawful order, potentially framing students' actions in a light that could justify severe crackdowns. However, it's crucial to dissect whether these protests bear any true resemblance to the Capitol riots, or if such comparisons are a product of political rhetoric aimed at discrediting movements. Indeed, while there are overlaps in the form of tumult and dissent, campus protests typically lack the direct intent to overturn a democratic process, which was a hallmark of the January 6th events. Nevertheless, the use of such imagery and comparisons by authorities and media can shape public perception, painting a picture of an almost existential threat that necessitates robust governmental and security responses. Critics argue that this equivalency is misleading and diminishes the legitimacy of what are often legitimate protests against real societal and institutional issues. Yet, proponents see it as a necessary alarm about the growing intensity and potential for violence within these protests, suggesting a slipping grip on civil discourse and respect for democratic norms. The response to the increasing unrest on campuses has been as multifaceted as the protests themselves. University administrators, often caught between upholding free speech and ensuring safety, have taken varied approaches, ranging from engaging in dialogue with protesters to calling in riot police for control. The national reaction has further polarized an already divided public opinion on police actions and the right to protest. High-profile incidents of violence or suppression at these protests have occasionally led to national outrage, prompting political leaders to weigh in, thus politicizing the response further. External parties, including political figures and activists, inject additional layers and interpretations, influencing how these events are understood and dealt with on the ground. This complex tapestry of actions and reactions not only impacts the immediate environment of the university, but also feeds into broader national debates about law, order, and the rights to free speech and assembly. The escalation of campus protests represents a microcosm of the broader societal tensions playing out across the United States. Each event, while localized, reverberates through the echelons of national security and governance, challenging existing frameworks and demanding new approaches to maintaining civic peace and order. The ongoing unrest potentially heralds a shift in the national security landscape, where domestic ideological battles become as significant a concern as any external threat. This realization may necessitate a reevaluation of strategies and policies, focusing not only on suppression, but also on addressing the underlying causes of such widespread discontent. In this context, understanding these protests in the light of January 6th and other such events is not just about immediate responses. It's about anticipating future challenges in a nation grappling with deep divisions. As these schisms surface in the sanctuaries of education, the lessons learned here could very well dictate the contours of American democracy and societal cohesion in the years to come.